Hi, glad to watch the stream. This is kind of irrelevant to the topic, but what would you say to people who don't seem to get why creatives like artists, musicians, and think it's the best thing ever? Too many people in my life think that it makes me sad. Okay, this is an interesting topic, right? The AI art discussion. So, I want you guys to take everything I just said about fame and content creation and success and making things. And notice how I repeatedly said, my favorite thing is the process. My favorite thing is the creation of something new. My favorite thing is figuring out a creative problem and how it works, you know? What AI does is it completely skips all that and leaves only the results. Leaves only the exact thing that I've said this entire time you need to be so careful of, that will just flood your life, that will just make you fucking feel irrelevant and weird and isolate you from other people and get you into a place where you need more and more and more, to the point that you're just consuming other humans. You're just using them and discarding them and all that shit. That's too far. That's not quite what's happening with AI art, but why would I ever care about a piece of art that eliminates the process? That's my question. Like, when I look at a piece of art, I see the journey of the person who made it. You know, I see everything that they have sacrificed and learned and grown around to get there. Watch my Berserk video. Look at what Kentaro Miura put into his work. Look, he's a man who deposited his life into his work, and that's kind of horrifying. But you can see it, like you can see it in every page, you can see it in every fucking pen stroke, every piece of dialogue, everything those characters are, you can see his journey. And it's a fucking grotesque insult into art to just be like, hey, do you want to fucking look like a Ghibli character? And you hit a button and you just erase all that and make this ghoulish impersonation of it. On a conceptual level alone, that's fucking grotesque. And then you factor into it how this is going to take jobs away from artists. You factor into it how financially it's going to hurt people. It's not like the technology behind it isn't impressive, but like, what are we doing? Like, who are we benefiting? Whose life is this technology improving? And the answer is no one. You know, because what's it going to be used for? It's going to be used by corporations to cut out artists. It's going to be used by corporations to make artists obsolete. I could not think of a more horrific outcome to art, right? My Miss says AI artists are just commissioners, not artists. Also, here's $5 for the wrestling video. I think one of the best analogies I've ever heard about it is calling yourself an artist because you use AI is like calling yourself a chef because you ask for your steak rare. You know, that's it. But you know, in terms of, okay, so like this is another thing I can do, right? One of the reasons I love Eyepatch Wolves, and one of the reasons I so thoroughly believe in what Eyepatch Wolves is because I get to work with artists and I get to pay artists, you know? Like, not to get too much into shit, but like multiple times, and I have like a minimum payment threshold that I will pay any artist who works on Eyepatch Wolves. There's a minimum amount that I will pay every artist, and multiple times artists will quote me something and I'll be like, I can't actually pay you that because that is below the minimum standard rate for Eyepatch Wolves. And sometimes that leads to their quote like quadrupling or like, you know, tripling or whatever. And I'm happy to do that because I'm happy to pay talented artists, you know? I don't know if you guys saw, no, actually, I don't want to say which t-shirt because I genuinely don't want to, I don't think it's fair for me to talk about like an artist's behind the scenes shit. But we had a t-shirt on the previous run and like the t-shirt's a fucking incredible t-shirt. And the artist quoted me so low. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, no. And I asked them, please don't ever quote anyone this low yourself, you know? Now, that's not to say that we meet every commission we get. occasionally on Eyepatch Wolves, like I'll approach an artist, and like, you know, this artist is just turns out like at the top of their field, and they're working with like Nike and Adidas or whatever, and so they'll quote me a payment that like I just can't meet. Like I had an artist quote me $4,000 for a piece once, and no shade at all to that artist. Get fucking paid, buddy. It just wasn't like that wasn't a commission that I could hit with, you know, with the money we make from Eyepatch Wolves. But I still think fair play to that person, you know. But then, like, you know, I'm also working on 2 other projects that are currently undisclosed, and one of those projects I am taking like a massive amount of my own money and just spreading it among a pool of artists because I want them to get paid. I want them to see benefit from it. And then the other is just like we are hiring an artist that I'm fucking so psyched to work with, and making sure they get paid and getting sure they get paid fair, you know? So like when I talk about AI art and the importance of like artists getting paid and the importance of artists being able to live, like I hope it's clear that's a walk I walk and not something I just say. Like that's something I really fucking believe in. Like this is, and I hate it. It's like the most cynical response. There's like all these people being like, oh, when's the last time you commissioned an artist? And for me, that answer is like, I'm commissioning one right fucking now. More like asking for ketchup on your steak. The stalk moth, that's a really good point. Eyepatch Wolves has literally helped foster my skills and as a digital artist, giving myself challenges to meet with thematic limits to test them. Ampersand, thank you so much. Yeah, like, and it's tricky because like right now, I actually did run into trouble with this a while ago. This was for, I wanted to do a competition, and I wanted to do a fake video games competition, and I was like, okay, here's the theme, and I gave people a theme for a fake video game, and I said, go nuts guys, and the winner gets like $700, and like there was definitely people like excited about it, but I had actually a couple of artists be like, I don't know about this dude. And in fairness, like 99% of the people who like were kind of calling me out on this were doing so in like the chillest, most respectful way. They were like, listen dude, I think you should read this article. And it turns out what they were talking about is spec work. And the idea of spec work is basically a company says, hey, we're having a contest to design our new logo. The winner gets like X amount of money. And the problem with spec work is that what happens then is a bunch of artists go off and does work, and they don't know that they're going to be paid for it. You know, and when people pointed out that, I was like, oh, fuck. This is exactly like what I'm doing. It's not exactly, but it's way too similar. And so I immediately shut down the competition. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. This is not what I'm about. And I'm actually going to try, I'm going to put out a call next week to just be like, you know, ask artists, is there a way we can do basically a fake video game jam and have it be legitimate, have it be something cool and interesting? And I actually had some artists saying the way that you do that is there's no prize. People just can compete for the joy of competing and nothing else. I feel weird about that as well, because I want artists to get paid, you know, like that doesn't sit right with me either. So I still need to think about that. Oh my god, I want a fake video game jam. And look, yeah, I know I want it too, and we're gonna try and do something, because I just think it'd be so fucking cool. But I need to do it in a way that is fair to artists. And like, if I need to put like significant money into it, like if I need to put a couple of grand into it, I will. I genuinely will. I have no problem doing that. But how do I do that in a way that's fair? Like, how do I do that in a way that ensure people don't feel their time is getting wasted? And I know VadiVidia does it, and I maybe need to track down VadiVidia and talk to him about it. But yeah, we'll see. I just want to talk about a game jam. I think it's fine as long as there's no prize, that's expectation in, and that people doing the game jam are aware of that. Yeah, it's just that idea seems counterintuitive to me at first, but I do understand that like part of the problem with spec work is the ambiguous expectation, and part of the problem is like, and by eliminating a prize, you basically just make it something that people can do because they want to. But I still need to think about it. I still really need to think about it. Don't use the art after. But then But like the whole point of the game jam is I literally want to be like, look at this fucking cool ass fake video game and look at this amazing artist that made it, you know? So that would kind of defeat the purpose a little bit. Sounds like what you want to make is like a zine. Yeah, but I would also want to put it in like a video, you know? Oh, shit. Nonsensed. Thanks to your fake video games video, I've managed to start a small group with my friends where we make fake video games. Nonsense, please send me your fake video games. I really, really want to see more fake video games. And I, like, spoiler, I want to do another fake video games. You can email them to regular@eyepatchwolf@gmail.com. Just use subject line fake video games. And anyone who happens to be watching, if you have made a fake video game or are making fake video games, for the love of God, send them to me. Okay, that is if like you want me to like show them off or whatever. If not, don't worry about it. But I love fake video games, and I want to be a part of making fake video games like more of a thing. So please send me your shit. Maybe you could partner up with another platform and the award be like access to that platform. Like, for example, a platform that offers video game courses. Maybe. See, like, I'm skeptical to get into anything that's not actually paying people, you know? Lizzie B, I make fake video games, but only because I don't have the ability to make them real. I mean, that's what's fucking awesome about them, though, you know? That's so cool. Lizzie B, please send me your shit. Please do. I think any prize runs the issue of some people getting rewarded for their work and others not. Yeah, you see, that's the problem. Pay a minimum amount to everyone who submits that meets a certain criteria, and then the winner gets a prize. See, the problem there is, even though you've worded it very thoughtfully, and like I kind of hit that point myself as well, that's also a competition. You know, like what you've just said is a competition, so it's really fucking tricky. But anyway, look, I'm going to put a call out about this on Blue Sky next week, so if people want to continue the discussion there, because I feel like we could kind of just keep going around about it. Why not do it for charity? Okay. That's everything that's going on inside me, chat.